All these moments are normally a build-up. I observed that these timelines are repeated throughout the three periods which I mentioned earlier. In the book, I have divided into three sections separated by symbols in the three illustrations, like such as roller coasters that signify the Universal Studio visit, the infinity pool that signifies the night we had at Marina Bay Sands, and also the morning at the pool, and etc. and etc. Recently, I read through my diary, which I wrote in 2007 to 2010, and I realized that there is a pattern that I always go through. You can check this pattern in YouTube, which I had made into an explainer video, in case you guys can relate to it. So that feeling and thinking which coincides with each other, wondering what these are. Because for me, yes, I have these feelings before, but this time the physical attraction is way beyond normal. There is something else which I have never wanted from those I had crushed with or interested in during that 2013 phase. I couldn't understand, in which I will talk about this more in the upcoming episode. What is this something peculiar? We have to go back to the main factor, which is fear. Have you guys experienced this before? The feelings are too heavy in your heart that it becomes something else. So my maximum patience during that time was when she started talking about her ex-boyfriend. At that time, she was single and divorced with a kid. So when she started to say that, I knew that this feeling I was having is one-sided. And that was when my worries became more extreme, that I realized I nearly have my 2 feet in the door and I need to go back. But at that time, I couldn't, because part of me was still with her. First, it's always that uncontrollable thoughts that I always have when I feel like I am into it, especially in this kind of relationship. I have no idea what is that at first. But then, when subsequently, over the years, I learned about myself, I knew then what it is. It is that feeling that I cannot express, so it is like bottled up. So when I have secured it over time, at any point of time, it will explode. Over the years, I managed to keep it in my 2-liter bottle. But as of recent, I just couldn't anymore. Initially, I was wondering why. I couldn't in 2 occasions, including this one. And I had the courage to express it for the first one and the second one too. Both in writing, just so you know, because I am not really good at talking about it, because I don't know how to, and I will forget what I want to say. So, and also I have no courage to tell it out loud. I mean, like, I expect that the person could read me. You expect people could read you. Like, everything I did in action is so obvious. In this book, if I remember correctly, I have mentioned that I started to be worried, I guess, about 5 to 6 times throughout the years. And these times are some of the moments that when she shows her attraction towards me or attention, I will start to get worried. And then when she doesn't, I will be jealous. So I'm not sure whether this is normal, but yes, this was what happened. I guess the climax was when I decided to distance myself from her, when I feel like she is not interested in me in the way I did towards her. And instead of getting myself dive too deep into this, I was worried I couldn't get out from whatever this is like usually I did. Maybe because of that, I had to find the reasons to leave. But also, apart from that, I really couldn't control my feelings this time. Actually, this is the first time in my life that I cried because of someone who made me feel this way. Like I said, I have feelings for those before, but I have never shed tears for anyone. I didn't get moody, I didn't have no appetite, I didn't stare into blank space. I didn't feel like my throat is choked when listening to songs like Driver's License, Cardigan, and Surrender. I have no idea why this time is so different. By the way, listen to Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. This is one of the best songs in my life, apart from Taylor Swift song. Driver's License is one of the epic songs at the moment, which I can listen on repeat. Over the years, for myself, I have developed my self-esteem, which for me is important because apart from me being in this line of coaching people to grow their personality, I knew since then that this will be an essential armor in my life. One thing I am sure that even though I was afraid, worried or jealous, I am glad it doesn't affect inside of me. Meaning that I am glad it did not make me feel down about myself, hate myself, or even blame myself. I mean, since you guys are listening to this, I would like to insert some words of motivation too if you are struggling to overcome certain challenges in your life. Because I have read and listened to stories and I would understand why situations could demotivate people to pursue their life because of relationships. What I did was I let myself feel whatever I wanted to feel after I said to her about my overwhelming feelings. That took about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. I couldn't deny that throughout those weeks. It hurts, seriously. I feel really not good, like no appetite and all because of that overwhelming feelings I feel. You know, the jealousy is no longer there, actually. It was only for a moment that triggered my decision. That is it. Which is expected because I seldom feel jealous, normally. Sometimes, frankly, I have to train myself to feel jealous because I feel like a rock if I don't. Then, what I did was I kept writing my feelings on my diary and also expressed my feelings in social media when none of my friends are in my friends list like Tumblr, TikTok, and Twitter. Oh, before I forget, I have never not updated my status in social media since I am in it for the past 13 years. But Harry had suggested to me to not check my social media on the first week of this incident that happened because I kept checking her status and update. Okay, I mean, so far it was really great. It has been 3 months and I am still not logged in into my Facebook and Instagram account. It makes a lot of difference. I'm not kidding. Just out of the zone of not knowing what is going on is so much different. And so far I'm okay with it. But remember, I am still logging into my personal private Twitter, Tumblr, and TikTok where no one knows me, and I will always have a good laugh whenever I need it. Means I am still in socializing mode but selectively. So if you find it difficult to do that, try this kind of method. Because sometimes when we are in the disappointment mode or upset mode, find ways that could entertain yourself. That you have to remember that there is more than just this in your life. Basically, these are some ways that I did in practice if in case you need some motivation to overcome similar situations. It is okay, I guess, to be worried as long as not excessive whenever we feel something towards someone we are interested in. I guess it is also okay to be afraid because if you feel like a person and it is against your culture, religion, or law, I mean, you have to decide this yourself. I am actually not even worried or afraid of those, but more afraid of how I feel towards the person. I was like more worried that if she doesn't feel the same way, it will hurt and break my heart. So, now based on what happened, frankly, I did not feel anything at all after telling her how I feel, and I didn't even ask her how she feels towards me because I feel at this point, her actions after I told her is actually the answer to it. It's like the closure. But I was surprised that I did not feel anything. I do not know why. I was expecting that I would cry or I will have like no appetite like that time before I wrote the letter. So at least I can cut down on the food I have eaten, but I didn't. But okay, I cannot continue in this episode because that will be on another chapter and doesn't suit the title of this episode. Okay, I will talk to you again shortly. Click next to the episode.
For any feedbacks and questions, email us at winterscribbler@gmail.com. This podcast is brought to you by Winter Scribbler Publishing,